It's the greatest scandal in American history, which is like what you just said, that we don't have a president. The president of the United States, everybody has essentially admitted, is too senile to run for president. Yet he's going to be president until January. We are in a proxy war with the biggest nuclear power in the history of the world. And we have another proxy war-ish type thing that looks to be devolving into a wider regional war.
Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Agovia coming to you live from the man cave. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Today is a way better day. I feel better, nice and clean. I do need to pluck these, but hey, we're back. We're back with another reaction. Today's gonna be a good one. I can feel it, and I'm ready to get into it, y'all. But hey, before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know a little copyright. You want to know a little funny copyright I got yesterday on yesterday's video? The Olympic closing ceremony, right? And it wasn't just a copyright strike, it was blocked in every single country in the world, right? It blocked me in every country, copyright, right? So it wouldn't even let me put the video out, right? Some copyrights, you can still put the video out, you're just not gonna get paid for the video, right? This one was completely blocked, and it was the Olympic closing ceremony. Ain't that something, y'all? But anyways, y'all, we're back with another reaction. Let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. We got a good one today. I ain't gonna talk your guys' ears off. I'm over here sipping on a nice tangerine sparkling water. Let's have some fun. Enjoy the reaction.
Does anyone else find it suspicious that a girl who goes viral for saying 2 stupid words in a TikTok video suddenly has a team around her, pitching her for reality TV shows and making public appearances? This is what I mean when I say that nothing in the entertainment industry is real. Nothing. It's like the girl who came up with the ABCDEFU song. It's already come out after the fact that her management team or marketing team pitched that as a way to create buzz for the song. The song was already recorded. All right, but the whole backstory behind selling that song was that she magically conjured it up spontaneously in a Q&A when someone asked her to create a song using the alphabet. And oh my God, she's so talented. She just did it. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. Marketing people have found a way to fake authenticity, and we as a society are so stupid and so easily manipulated and blinded by wealth and status and materialism that we just let this happen. We just love the feel-good rags to riches story. They don't exist anymore. Those are industry plants. And you as an artist should not be comparing yourself to people literally given and handed everything. Taylor Swift, prime example. You can like the music, you can be a fan, I'm not saying you can't, but these people need to be graded on a curve. She was literally plucked out of society as a preteen with a minimal amount of talent. Her family came from money and literally bought everything. They paid for the best marketing people, they came up with a BS story, and she never had to hack out a living in the wilderness by herself. She never had to create an audience from scratch by herself. We as a society of audiences need to be smarter than this and recognize when someone is literally working for everything and someone who isn't. And you as an artist, if you're pursuing art for art's sake, hacking your living out of the wilderness one audience member at a time, should not be comparing yourself to these people who are given everything.
That's why they're...
Yeah, I mean, you hear people countless times say, if you want a #1 hit song, you gotta pay for that. It ain't free, right? You gotta pay for the marketing, you gotta pay for the right people to hear it, you gotta pay for the radio to spin it, right? Ain't nothing free. So all these people overnight successes usually don't end too well.
Against nicotine. That's why Yall's raised the taxes on nicotine pouches. There's no evidence, by the way, that nicotine is a carcinogen. It's not. It's all a lie. And what they hate about nicotine is it raises testosterone levels. They even suppress that fact, that's a fact, on Google. Google nicotine and testosterone and see how many results it takes you to get to the core truth, which is, yes, nicotine use raises testosterone levels. Man, it is way, way down. And that's not an accident. They're afraid of testosterone.
100%. That's like completely right.
Pop the pouch.
There's this other guy, and he's gone viral in Instagram because he'll take photos of basketball players, like just them playing basketball, whatever motion or position or posture they're in, and then finds an exact replica in Renaissance paintings.
Whoa.
What?
That's crazy.
And there's hundreds and thousands of these photos. He has the mind that just can look at a picture and like, oh, that's that painting. That'll look comparable. And it's the exact same pose, the exact same posture. And he just does them side by side on a carousel on
That's
Instagram.
dope. Photographic memory is
People's-
crazy.
I have a question.
That's
How
crazy.
did we, as humans, go from that today. How that happened?
This is a beautiful Arizona sunset, man. We don't got those in Texas.
3.5 years at this exact
No offense to my Texans.
We're looking dead south right now. The sun always sets in the west. Always. It's setting right now. Why is it setting in the south? Can anybody verify where they're at? I'm in North Phoenix, Scottsdale.
What in the world are these clouds setting on? Look at all the bottom, look at the bottom of all of them. They're literally setting like on an invisible line. Like they're literally sitting on something, or that is ridiculous.
It does look like they're sitting on something. It's crazy. Get back to work, guy. Get back to driving. Well, they're worried about the damn clouds.
Something's going on in the ocean and they're not trying to tell us. This should be like super broadcasted. Listen.
Hoping to capture today. If not in their nets, then at least on camera. Are you ready? Yep. Let's do it. A couple months earlier, a similar effort revealed a stunning sight. Thousands of pickle-shaped organisms called pyrosomes filled the ocean as far as the eye could see. When we saw how many there were, it was just like, oh my gosh, this is mind-boggling. This is definitely something that we haven't seen before, and we don't know why they're here. That's the big question now. From California to Alaska, the ocean is so loaded with pyrosomes, they're clogging the nets of researchers and fishermen. At first it was irritation because they were clogging our research nets, and then it was kind of like, wow, okay, what is going on here? Why are there so many? Why now? There's pyrosomes mingling with schools of fish and becoming fish food. Biologists are finding them inside the bellies of fish and whales. But normally, they're found in tropical waters.
Do you not find that just a little strange that our fish is eating that shit and it's all in our oceans, but we have not heard anything about it anywhere? Not even on TikTok? Crazy. Oh my God!
There is so much of our past hidden under what we think are just piles of rocks. But upon closer inspection, they are anything but. Signs of the many resets of our realm are not to just be found in the many layers of dried mud beneath us. As we look at some of these magnificent structures from ancient civilizations long past, that are said to be carved from hammer and chisel, you can see a clear melting type destruction pattern on these buildings. Think Archimedes' mirror, or perhaps a plasma storm-like event that left its trace realm-wide. Look at the Black Pyramid of Egypt. It is clear one of those great pyramids of Egypt exposed to one of these events, leaving the top melted and blackened and deformed. I think there are many pyramids like this Black Pyramid still to be found all across the world. Many think these are the results of a man-made event, like an ancient nuclear war. Others, like myself, I believe this was a plasma storm, part of a repeating cycle like the mud flood. Whatever the cause, it definitely left its mark the world over. Question everything, friends. Until next time.
I mean, what's one of the oldest sayings? History repeats itself, right? These sayings have really, really deep meanings that we just take for granted every day, but maybe there was an old nuclear war that popped off, right? Maybe we were here doing the same thing, making reaction videos on TikTok, right? Thousands and thousands of years ago, because the old saying is history repeats itself.
This thing keeps flying around our neighborhood. Look at this thing. What? Why is it so low? Bro!
That is
what are you doing?
really low.
Why is it flying so low? And there it goes. Why are you so close? Does anybody know why they would do this?
Air show?
What happened to all of the equipment, the weapons, the vehicles, the ammunition, the night vision that the U.S. had there stockpiled that we were using for the past 20 years? What happened to all that?
The Taliban have all of them, and it's not just the Taliban. We're talking about $86 billion worth of bases, equipment, military equipment, and the items that you mentioned. All were left for the Taliban, and the Taliban are very generous with their brethren in Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Hamas has them, Haqqani has them, Pakistani Taliban, Tehrik-e-Taliban, they have them. The Taliban have given those weapons to everyone. They're even found in places like Yemen. They're found in North Africa. All of these weapons were left behind. The way I look at it, it's the last gift-wrapped item that Mr. Biden left for the Taliban. And they're using that against the Afghan people. Once they're done with the Afghan people, they're going to continue marching west.
You can
See, I remember there was a video of a veteran, probably on the Sean Ryan podcast, talking about, you know, we always did our ops at night because they didn't have night vision, right? They couldn't see us. We saw them, but they couldn't see us. And another thing he said was, if it wasn't for our air defense, right? Planes coming in, bombing, shooting, whatever, like they would be screwed, right? Those air defenses, they get them out of so much stuff because these Taliban, whatever, they know their land. They know how to work their terrain because a lot of that terrain's a lot of rough terrain, right? And they know how to work it. So a lot of the veterans would say that, you know, if it wasn't for that air defense or the night vision. So now they got it. Now it's kind of an even playing field. I won't say even, but if it ever got back to where it was.
imagine now my understanding of the facts surrounding the MJ case, that he went to war with Sony, one of these major companies, and he was winning that war. And then suddenly the world was told that Michael Jackson, and I was someone who believed it, because like I said, not many of us can really resist when there's that much insistence from the press that somebody is crazy or somebody is a or somebody is an anti-Semite. Michael Jackson, I think, was called all of those things. Wacko Jacko. They gave him a name.
How do you feel when they call you Wacko Jacko? It's not nice. I'm not a wacko.
The exact same tactics that they tried to use on me. This is what happened when I was effectively kicked out. It was like a button was pressed. I was fed to the ADL. Overnight, it seemed literally overnight, someone pressed a button and there was a full court press effort to cancel Candace Owens by trying to convince the people that she just went crazy and anti-Semitic. Maybe they would have if they had had the means to. Thank goodness I'm not from Hollywood. They would have institutionalized me and said that it was for my good. Maybe they would have had a family member on payroll that would have come out and said, oh, we recognize that suddenly at 35 years old that Candace Owens had bipolar disorder. That there are a ton of people in Hollywood who, when they have tried to speak out about things that are happening to them, have received this same treatment. I believe this is what happened to Britney Spears.
Goes back to our first clip, right? Goes back to the first clip that they're all industry plants, right? Maybe even Candace Owens, right? If the left people got industry plants, don't you think the people on the right got industry plants, right? Who knows, y'all? Who knows? But I know they're trying to mess with my little channel. I know there's people out there doing these same videos, getting hundreds and thousands of views. I don't know if their channel's getting messed with like mine is. I only got 40-some hundred subscribers, and I'm very thankful for you guys. Let's get it to 10,000. Giveaway at 10,000.
And hello, interdimensional beings.
Good today, y'all.
There is a large cigar spaceship in my neighborhood in broad daylight. Yes, there is. Hi guys, I see you up there. Yes, I do.
Yeah, what the heck
Sitting
is that?
in plain sight right over my freaking home.
Buy a house built in 2024, and I'm going to tell you why. Not only are you spending twice as much as you fucking should on a house, the shit that we're dealing with for materials is absolute junk. Yeah, sure, it looks great when you put siding on the outside and you can't see what the building materials are that you're dealing with. Of course it looks good. Called lipstick on a pig. Materials we get, if they ain't fucking warped, they're full of knots, they're full of wormholes. Wormholes! Can you imagine buying a new piece of lumber and having termites already in your house? I don't think so. Brand new sheet of plywood. Brand new. Pressure treated plywood. Supposed to be the best stuff around, right? No. Look, it's all splitting already. But you know what? I'm going to nail that on your fucking house, cover it with siding, and you're going to have to deal with it. Because that's what we got. We got no choice. What's the point of fixing it if my materials are crap? You know, what am I supposed to do? Good thing I have to cut that big part of the junk wood that's over there. I have to cut it all out because this is fucking bullshit. You can understand the frustration that I've had and am having on a year-to-year, day-to-day basis. It's just ridiculous. Last thing I want to do is repair somebody's rot with rotten wood. It just doesn't make sense to me, you know? What are we doing? Why? Bidenomics? Really? I mean, everything costs twice as much as it should, and it's crap. If I can remember that come November, for all that give a fuck. Anyways, hope you guys are having a better day than I am. I mean, it's not a bad day. Just a little frustrated.
Apple. It's cold game, y'all, because I feel like everybody's just taking advantage, just like the border crisis, right? They're all coming, right? Because they're taking advantage of the policies, right? So everyone's taking advantage of all this inflation. Like, oh, you're going to charge double for that shit. We're going to charge double too. I'm going to get my money while I can, right? From the ground up, right? From construction to food, to gas, to clothing, to internet, to electricity, to gas, right? It's just everyone's taking a piece of the pie.
Just announced that in their next upgrade coming this fall that they're going to actually put ChatGPT on every iPhone to collect and analyze all the data of yours that's flowing through an iPhone if you're using it. It is shocking. The average kid in America, by the time they reach the age of 13, has had 72 million data points collected on them by big tech.
Who helped you develop this?
So again, we did Unplugged as a way for people to still communicate in the world, but not be giving off all their digital data to big tech, to people that really don't like them. You can use pretty much all the same apps that you're used to. We did a side-by-side test between our phone and Google and Apple's. And the Google and Apple phones seem to wake up between 2 and 3 at night, and they have this huge, like a 50 megabyte data dump that is sent out for the phone every night. Basically, that phone, phoning home, sending off your preferences, everything you've done that day. Ours doesn't. There's a DHS agent interviewed about using some of this early ad tech stuff. And he demoed it and he tested it on himself. And sure enough, from the ad ID alone, he could figure out he could confirm which side of the bed he was sleeping in his house.
Y'all ever see this mountain right here in Russia? Or how about this one in Italy right here? Look at it. Really nice mountain. Here's another mountain out west. Look at there. Rockin' Ranch. I like the little logo. It's pretty neat because it's right there. Now this one right here, dude, this is in Bosnia, okay? Now allegedly they started digging on this one at one point, and when they started hitting structures and rocks, they were like, whoa, 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 get out of here, you know, kind of the Egyptians do, like, nope, close it off to me, go, get away. That's what I heard allegedly, okay? Here's some more info on it. Archaeologists have found some cut stone slabs they believe to form an ancient pyramid underneath a huge Bosnian hill. So here's what it means, there's 3 others, right? You got the pyramid of the sun, the moon, and the earth, which is strange, right? Not really. For it to be there, man. 722 feet. The Great Pyramid of Egypt is only 450, so imagine how massive this is. Of course, people think, oh, it's just a mountain, man, yada, yada, yada. They've literally done thermal imaging is what they say. Then there's always the Grand Canyon, man. You know, that's the Egypt Sphinx right here. And then they say, you know, allegedly it looks like, you know, the Sphinx. I mean, take a look. It has a lot of similarities. These are all things that we should think about, man. You know, look, this is all around the world. Look at this. Russia, Argentina, Egypt. Come on, man. Like, New Zealand, like, it's pretty cool stuff, man.
Like I said, take advantage. Get your piece of the pie, letting you in. Shit, I'm going.
Families you see on
Can't blame them, right? Can't blame them.
all the kids.
I'd be doing the same thing.
I believe we're looking at some sort of nuclear event, which will then trigger the so-called revealing of these extraterrestrials. You know, it's funny how people go galactic war and the Galactic Federation and all this other nonsense. Well, if they really cared about us, why not give us the cure to cancer? They don't do that. They abduct 5-year-old boys. They take women against their will. They implant them. They make them pregnant. And then they come and they take the entity, the hybrid child, from that womb. All you've heard for the last 20 years, with all due respect, is all these shows on TV talking about ancient astronaut theorists and all this other stuff. You should do a deep dive into some of my stuff, because we go all over the world, and we dig deep, and we show that there is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world.
The one that's going to be interesting is the Democrat convention.
Where is that going to be?
That's in Chicago. But for those of you that weren't alive in 1968, the Democratic convention in Chicago in 1968, where Lyndon Johnson bowed out of the race. I remember sitting in my parents' living room. I was in like 8th grade or 7th grade. And Lyndon Johnson addressed the nation. He goes, if nominated, I will not seek nor will I accept the nomination for your president. It's prime time. He said, wow, he just said he's stepping down. It was going to be Bobby Kennedy, and they shot Bobby Kennedy in the head. And then it was Hubert Humphrey. Nobody wanted Hubert Humphrey. And everybody went to Chicago, and they rioted on national TV. So we were watching the convention. They go, oh, go outside with the disturbance. And they're billy clubbing people. And the people are chanting, the whole world's watching, the whole world's watching. They're just beating the shit out of the demonstrators. It was wild. That was Chicago Democratic Convention. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, baby.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know, buddy, actually. I
Kind
don't
of looks
know.
like an airplane or a drone to me.
James, come here, buddy.
I don't know. You can't really see the wings. If I was an airplane, you see the wings.
Dude, that thing is moving so fast.
Right?
I ain't a plane, that's for damn sure.
Okay. Okay, now it doesn't look like a plane.
What, baby?
Oh, shut up. Trying to go viral.
Dude, look at it. Like, shit, where'd it go? There's the moon. It was just past moon, like, I don't know, 30 seconds ago?
Interesting.
James, come here. James. Good boy. Stay here. Don't come here, home. Here, James. Yeah. Forget the ball. Oh, Daddy lost it.
I knew it was coming. Shit.
There it is. Daddy found it.
It is moving. Planes don't move that fast that high up. 200-year-old treasure found in the UK. Quiet. Like a sword?
We all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas. These children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
She invoked Greta Thunberg a little bit there.
You know, you've seen what's happened with the border crossings recently, right?
Yeah.
They've dropped dramatically. She said she would sign the bill that the Republicans put together, right? Inflation is declining rapidly. She won't have tariffs, right? So effectively,
We don't know about the tariffs. Actually, I want to see what.
No, I'm pretty sure she won't have tariffs, right?
It depends on which kind of tariffs.
Anyways, so what I'm about to say is, if she checked all your policy boxes, would you vote for her over Trump?
Well, she doesn't check. I mean, she's dead set.
I'm just saying, because she hasn't come out. It's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, but what I'll tell you this.
It's a hypothetical.
I'm going to vote for the candidate who I believe has the best policies for the United States of America and who has some basis to carry them out. In my mind, that's exactly why I'm voting for Trump. That's exactly why I'm voting for Trump.
I mean, again,
so if somebody and Trump and I don't agree on 100% of policies. I mean, I ran for president last year, for God's sake, right? And there's some areas where he and I have had open discussions where we have slightly different views, and that's great.
But again, let's just say that list of policies you have in your mind.
I will vote for the candidate who I believe is committed to enacting the policies I agree with for the United States. Is committed to enacting is what I will say. But the candidate who I believe is most committed to enacting the policies that I care about, and well, you know what's number one on the list for me is dismantling bureaucracy. Dismantling bureaucracy is so. So who do I think is more likely? If Kamala Harris comes out and says that she's going to fire 75% of federal bureaucrats and shut down excess agencies,
but you can't do that.
She'd have my attention. She'd have my attention.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
You and I can disagree.
But what you can do is what you can do is use technology to make the government a lot more efficient.
Sure,
so that,
add that in there too to replace a lot of the excess.
Government declines in size while improving the amount of impact it has for the people who need it most. They're not mutually exclusive.
That video, I'm going to try to find that video, a longer clip, maybe like a 15-minute clip of that. If not that, we're going to find like a nice debate, right? A left and right debate. And that's what we're going to react to on today's video on my second YouTube channel. So be sure, hit the link in the bio. Second YouTube channel's there. Go subscribe. That's what we're going to do on today's video, y'all. So if you guys like those type of debates and, you know, hear my opinion, you guys can voice your opinion down in the comments, whether you're left or right. I'm unbiased, y'all. Lean a little more to the right. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys, but that's what today's video is going to be like over there. So if you guys want to check it out, go over there, check it out, y'all.
Right. However, it's amazing to me that Donald Trump, none of his surrogates, no one like on the pro-Trump side seems to be able to effectively hit Kamala Harris with what is the most obvious thing to hit her with. It's the greatest scandal in American history, which is like what you just said, that we don't have a president. The president of the United States, everybody has essentially admitted, is too senile to run for president. Yet he's going to be president until January. We are in a proxy war with the biggest nuclear power in the history of the world. And we have another proxy war-ish type thing that looks to be devolving into a wider regional war in Israel, and we don't have a president. This is like the biggest scandal in the history of the republic, if we're a republic anymore. And Kamala Harris is directly implicated in this. Like, she was one of the major people lying through her teeth that Joe Biden is sharp as a tack in private meetings. And it seems like somehow the Trump campaign has not been able to effectively hit her for this. It's like right there in front of us. You pulling Joe Biden out was admitting that he's too senile to run for president. Yes. And yet you're not invoking the 25th Amendment. This is what it's for. He clearly can't be president. And then what does it say about the machine that they're quite happy with that works very well for them?
There is a pact with every country that has a slice of it that they will not dig or remove any minerals from Antarctica. Mm-hmm. And he even said that a scientist was there, said to them, World War III will not start until one of these countries breaks that pact. Mm-hmm. They are clearly protecting or preserving something that may or may not be under, I believe it's 3 miles, Mark was saying earlier, at its thickest of ice. Mm-hmm. Now, Mark, maybe you should describe the thing that you were saying before about there was a time where Antarctica...
I was reading an article that perhaps 90 million years ago, there was a lush rainforest that is now covered in miles of ice on the Antarctic continent.
Yeah, that's probably true. If you go back that far, you would find that the Earth's climate was very different from how it is today. And there's undoubtedly a time, they found fossils on Antarctica, there's undoubtedly a time when Antarctica was lush and green. The question is, was it lush and green during the lifetime of the human species?
What do you mean the immigrants are getting a check and we're putting them up in places that what? You mean in the homeless people's face?
Right in the homeless people's faces.
Like,
right?
Let us show you what we could have done.
Right.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's not okay as a society.
I've never recovered from finding out that the food pyramid was a scam.
Yeah.
That's just the degree to which that's a scam is I don't know. Is there a worse medical crime in history than that?
No, I mean, telling Americans to load up on 7 to 11 servings of grains every single day.
Yeah.
Like,
and to find out that that was a marketing ploy by the Department of Agriculture and that they went against the advice even of their own consultants who warned them that they would produce an epidemic of obesity and diabetes, to say nothing of depression and dementia, which is exactly what we have now.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know what you even do when you find out that that's true.
Yeah, and the unwarranted demonization of natural fat-containing foods, nutrient-dense foods like animal source foods, which continue to be demonized.
Even by the American Diabetic, is it Association Society? I don't remember
the
which
ADA,
one
yes.
is still pushing the notion that, diabetics can eat carbohydrates. Like, actually, I don't think so. I don't think that's a very good idea, since they're converted to sugar.
There is no fucking reason for this. Another Saturday morning full of donuts. Do you see the scale of this? Like, can you tell really? Organizations or people like me would come and get this at night before they throw it away and distribute it to the homeless and food pantries and stuff. And it's every fucking day. They make too many donuts, they don't sell, and then you have hundreds, there's probably 1,000 donuts. There's more than 1,000 in here, I'm sure. Literally the ground up. This isn't just a top layer. As far as you can go down, there's boxes of donuts. Makes me sick. No reason at all. But it's gonna happen again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. I hope you have a good weekend. Do something kind.
Now, I'm surprised that didn't have a lock and chain on it, right? Because I'm a dumpster diver, y'all. I like to get stuff out the trash, sell it, or keep it for myself, right? Now, I've been in back of Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, those type of stores. They'll throw away a shoe department store. They'll throw a brand new pair of Vans away, and they'll write with a black Sharpie, trash, all over it, trash. If they got clothes, they'll cut those clothes and throw it in there. Like, it's ridiculous, y'all. They could at least, right? If you ain't going to give it to people like me that are going through the trash, at least go donate it to a thrift shop. Even then, I say no, because thrift shops overprice their stuff now. It's not even cheap no more. They're charging retail damn near. Go give it out to the homeless or something, y'all. Like, that's corporate greed. Like, that's Ross saying, we don't want nobody to make a penny off this, so we're going to cut this nice Nike shirt so nobody can have it. If it didn't sell, nobody's getting it. That's crazy in my eyes, like, especially with the food, right?
According to the Anunnaki, human beings were created in a way that genetically we were supposed to become more superior than them. They didn't know this was going to happen. And Lil was angry at his brother Enki because Enki put a little extra in the sauce. And he said that the mysteries to unlock the secrets of the universe is hidden within our bodies, and that we ourselves can rise to be even higher than them. This was a major thing to be putting into text like this. And I believe that because when I started studying DNA, that took me into a whole DNA study. I discovered this scientist called George Church, and he created this ebook that he was able to take from a digital format, and he was able to download it onto 1 gram of DNA, a digital book, convert it from zeros and ones into ACs, T's, and G's, read, write, put it on the DNA. Then he said, wow, this is incredible. DNA can store information in a volume. Then he said, okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's replicate this book. So he replicated the book 80 billion times on 1 gram of DNA. So then he said, let's see if we can get it back. So he converted, he created a read-write again. He converted it from ACs, T's, and G's back to zeros and ones and uploaded it back to the server. So now he knows that DNA can upload and download information. Crazy. Whoa. So now they said, okay, well, how much data can be stored on 1 drop? Over 433 petabytes of data. A petabyte is 1,000 terabytes. Yeah, so they said, now they discovered recently on holmium atoms, scientists have now written information, data onto an individual holmium atom. And they discovered that we can store information. They can read, write directly onto the surface of an actual atom. Oh my. Now, think about that for a second. Oh my God. So they're saying that a human body can store 13.5 billion years of roughly of data, which is roughly around the time they believe the universe probably exists. So that myth of Adapa text could be accurate. The secrets of the universe is probably encoded into our body because we're just recycled atoms.
Do you ever think like you see what's happening in society, right? They say the end of times, right? It's written in the biblical thing. Do you ever think like we're getting so close to figuring it all out is when God, the universe, comes and wipes everything clean and makes us start over because we got too close to exposing the secret, and then before he wipes it clean, we write down the secrets, which are those hieroglyphs that he's talking about, so the next generation sees our hieroglyphs. This is a secret, so the next generation that gets close to figuring out what we did, it comes and starts over again. I don't know, I think about that. Like sometimes I think we're getting too close to being God, right? We're getting too close to creating, cloning people, and doing what nature and God could only do. We're getting close, if not already doing that. So that's why all these end of time prophecies are starting to happen. I don't know. That's what my crazy mind thinks of sometimes.
Could I ask you a question? Yes, of course. I understand that you are advocating health for everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's going to pay for it?
Well, we're going to pay for it because right now, let me tell you something, we're all paying for health care for everyone, and it's in an emergency room. Okay. Okay, I don't intend to do Medicare.
See how she says, do you have Medicare? I bet if this lady would have said, yes, I have Medicare, you know Trump's trying to get rid of that Medicare, right? Right? That was her defense. I bet you that's what it was. She says it again.
Well, I want to make sure your health care is the way you like it. So I'll promise you that, okay? I won't mess with the health care that you have. Are you on Medicare? Okay. Well, it was nice to visit with you.
Little snake. She was going to make it political. You know Trump's trying to get rid of that, right?
As I was leaving the property, this group came across. Oh, Colombia, todo? Colombia? ¿Dónde vas en Estados Unidos? California. Miami? Chicago? Minnesota? Minnesota? Miami? New York? Boston? Connecticut? Miami? Utah? California? Wow. It's not stopping, guys. It's not stopping. They're lying to you. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the Democrats are lying to you. They just don't want you to see it. That's all. They did this.
I don't blame them, right?
They did this.
They
don't want to fix the problem in
game.
these communist countries because they want America invaded. These people are traitors to our country. I don't fault the people that are coming. You saw all those babies. I pray for those babies.
That's what I'm
I fault
saying.
the people that are inviting them, like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
All right, family. There you have today's reaction. We did a lot of talking today. I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling in the zone. Hope I was not too much today, but I can go on and on, y'all. I need to start a podcast, y'all. I need to start a podcast. But anyways, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's reaction. Like I said, clip in my other video, we're gonna do a long debate. Might be that Dave Smith and Tucker clip over there. That one looked pretty good, so we might get into that on the other channel link in the bio. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers over there, we'll be doing a giveaway. Once we get to 10,000 subscribers over here, we're gonna be doing a big giveaway. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe, like if you made it this far. I appreciate you guys. We've been getting a lot of love from you guys. I appreciate it. All the love you guys have been showing and all the support. Anyways, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Hope everyone has a good Wednesday. Later, y'all.